I'm really excited today. I have a very, very special guest, the one and only Ricky Carruth. He is the founder and coach of Zero to Diamond Coaching. He's also a real estate agent with EXP. How's it going, Ricky?
Doing good, man. Doing real good. Good to be here.
Thank you. That's good to hear, man. Thank you so much for doing this, man. Look, so much stuff I want to get into, but you like I mentioned when we were talking a little bit about before, you got a fan base here in Milwaukee, so that's cool. That's always good, right? And
Well,
I always tell people, yeah, man. I always tell people I did go through your course and it's the real deal. And you offer it for free. Tell us a little bit about Zero to Diamond. How did this come about?
well, man, I got in real estate when I was 20, and I made a mill before I was 23. Lost it all in the crash. Went back to roofing houses, worked on an oil rig for a year, and read 100 books. And I realized this business is about people, not deals. And it took me going through all that hardship to learn that. And then once I did, I started building my business back the right way. I'm built on relationships and helping people, and working hard, which I was already doing that. I just had the wrong intentions in the first part of my career. I was more focused on the money and everything. And so, man, really, Zero to Diamond is really it's a free coaching program that's based on trying to help people understand how to communicate with their prospects in terms of how we can help them, not necessarily do they want to buy or sell today, which is what 99% of the coaching programs out there are all about. So I guess the coaching programs that charge you feel like they have to try to get you some quick deals to make the coaching program worth it. They're like, hey, one deal will pay for the coaching program. That's a red flag right there. But since my coaching program is free, I can freely tell my audience and my coaching members exactly how I feel without worrying about if they're going to pay for something or if I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings. I can tell you exactly what I think. And
Yeah.
so that's what it's about, man, is me sharing my experiences and my philosophies. I mean, some of the biggest thing I learned through the crash was that closings continue to happen every single day, right?
Right.
That was one of the biggest breakthroughs, is that closings never stop. So once you understand that and you have full confidence in the market, regardless of what kind of wild market swings happen, then you can get into a real consistent, you can really, commit more to a consistent routine that, will put you, where you want to be over the course of the next 5 or 10 years,
Right.
because it takes 5 or 10 years to get where you want to go. It's not,
Right.
this stuff doesn't happen overnight.
So true. So true. I'm a really big advocate for Zero to Diamond because I often tell agents that I've done paid coaching with the biggest names. And when I saw what you were offering for free, I was like, this is stuff I've paid for. This is stuff I've paid for thousands of dollars for. And I tell people, I say, you got to do this. And I've personally helped enroll several people, and we went through it. And it's just from the scripts to the education to all your, coaching and training. And then the thing that I always love is the Instagram. You respond to every message. And
Mm.
I attest to that because you and I talked there, and you coached me too. And in full transparency, I've used Zero to Diamond, and it's awesome. So congratulations to you, man, on all that success. And I love seeing that. And now I know that you sell real estate, obviously, and with EXP. And before you got into real estate, tell us a little bit about yourself. What did you do before real estate?
Well, man, before I got into real estate, man, I was 20 years old, right? So I was basically fresh out of high school. I roofed houses as a teenager, and I went to college because that was the next step in life. That's what you're supposed to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I went to college. I went to 4 different schools in 2 years, right? Every semester I went to a different college, and I failed a history class at University of Alabama, and I was like, this isn't for me, because to me, it didn't make sense. I was, in high school, I could literally sleep in class, make A's and B's.
Mm-hmm.
And, in college, you actually have to put forth a lot of effort just to pass,
Right. Right.
and I was like, man, if I'm going to put forth this much effort, I want to be making money,
Yeah.
not going into debt. I want to, create, assets.
Right.
So I just decided that wasn't a smart move for me personally. A lot of people go to college and they do great, but everybody's different.
Sure. Yeah.
And I knew that college wasn't going to be my path to, what I wanted to do. I was ready to get into the workforce and do something. I didn't know what it was. So when I realized real estate was one class to get your license versus 10 years of college to be a doctor or lawyer, and you
Yeah.
really have the same opportunities for income, really, I mean, maybe even better in some cases.
For earning. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, lawyers can make a lot and doctors can make, it just depends on what you do,
Right.
of course, what kind of doctor, what kind of lawyer, and how
And the
successful
talent.
how
Yeah.
successful of a real estate agent you are. I mean, that dictates your income there, but sky is the limit. And when I realized I had the same opportunities as people who went to school for 10 years with just one class, I couldn't sign up fast enough. So when I passed my test for my class, I had to take my state test, but I didn't really know if that's what I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to do real estate.
Hmm.
So I came back to the beach. I roofed houses with my dad for it was like 4 days. And I was like, all right, I think I'm going to take this test. And yeah, definitely don't want to roof forever. So that's pretty much what I did, man. I got in real estate and I was 20. It took me 8 months to make my first sale. And, I was roofing and doing real estate at the same time, trying to figure out how to get it going. Finally, I sold something and the rest is history, man. I started selling a little here, a little there. And, then the market exploded. I made a lot of money quick,
Hmm.
lost it all, learned what I needed to learn, came back, and I've just been crushing it ever since, so closed on 100 deals a year, every year since 2014 as a single agent. I was the #1 Remax agent in the state of Alabama 3 times. And I'm in the middle of 2020 is going to be my very best year ever in real estate, and
Nice.
I mean, it's a year where I'm really more focused on coaching,
Right.
more
Yeah.
focused on my coaching business than I am my real estate business. It's going to be the best real estate year I've ever had, so go figure.
That's excellent. And I want to highlight something about that. When you say that about you're able to focus on the coaching that way, I think it's important for agents to know what you've done to build your real estate business, because I was going through some of your, what you do here, the every Wednesday email. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
100,000 calls made in total. You've tracked this,
Mm-hmm.
130 per week for 15 years. You've accumulated 5,000 contacts. That's massive.
Yeah.
And, I read both of your books. I read your books, and it's such quality and powerful content, real deep. Um, Really authentic is the word that comes to my mind too, because you really are you open up in so much. And I don't consider this like a sales book or anything. This is really an educational and a lot of heart in this book.
Mm-hmm.
And I want agents to know how important, because you talk a lot about relationships. Let's talk about that a little bit. When you started building, when it got in your mind, okay, I want to build relationships, lifelong relationships. That's so key. What would you tell new agents about how important that is?
Well, man, I mean, when you look at real estate, the big picture of real estate, what you have to realize is that, we're not chasing deals here, because at the end of the day, when you talk to a buyer or a seller who just closed a deal, right, with a real estate agent, and you say, hey, Mr. Buyer Seller, how did you pick your agent,
Mhm.
right? The most common answer is going to be, I had a friend in the business, right? I had a friend in the business. That's the most common answer, a friend of mine.
Mhm.
And so it always comes back to this friendship type, relationship with your clients. It's like whatever agent in the market is the best at creating and maintaining the most relationships, with people in the market owns the entire market, because those people are going to come to that agent to buy and sell properties.
Mhm.
Time and time and time again, they're going to refer a lot of people. At the end of the day, I don't look at it and say, okay, well, my job is to list a property or set an appointment or, get a listing or, show property or, talk this buyer into getting a pre-approved or whatever. My job is just to be very friendly and create a situation where they feel comfortable with me and they like me a lot. The rest just kind of happens, because here's the thing, closings happen every day.
Right.
And people are going to buy and sell properties. That's something you can't stop. So don't try to force it. Just go with it. Let them buy or sell when they want to buy or sell. You're just there to help them because you're their friend.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so when you build your business that way, if you do it the right way, over the years, you accumulate these relationships, right? So right now, the weekly email you were talking about, I've been sending it out every Wednesday since 2007.
Mm.
Okay, I got 20,000 people that I send that to with 5,000 opens every week.
Nice. Wow.
So I
That's
got
huge.
I got
A quarter.
5,000 people open this email every week to see what's going on with the market, see what's going on with me, see what's happening out there. So
Amazing.
that's the kind of business you want, is a personal brand that is built on something very simple. You want your business to be very simple, because people overcomplicate the business.
Right.
And that's one of the big problems with this industry, is there is so many different ways to build your business. But if you pick one lane and you keep everything simple, like, I don't use social media in my real estate business,
Mm-hmm.
right? I never did. I don't do direct mail anymore. I don't make cold calls anymore, right? I filtered it all the way down to just the weekly email. And that is everything. That's my entire business. That's my entire marketing plan. That's my entire prospecting, plan. That's
Yeah.
everything. So if the market ever slowed down, I've closed 1,000 deals in my career, and I've talked to another, obviously more than 5,000 people. So I've got a list of thousands of people that I could call and just check on them, see how they're doing, see what I could do to help them. If the market dropped off and I wasn't busy selling, and I needed some sales, I could just easily pick up the phone, talk to people that I've talked to in the past, see what they're doing, see what they want to do, see how they're doing through this. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
Yeah.
through the pandemic. When the
Exactly.
pandemic happened, I just picked up the phone, called my past clients and said, how is it going through this? How are you doing through all this? And checked on them to see if there's anything they want to do, in terms of buying or selling.
Right. And, I would encourage people that it's important to, Ricky's where he's at right now, but it's important to really dive in and read his books and watch his videos so that you can see how he got to this point. Cause he's doing 100 deals a year. I know you've put you've been pretty open with some of your numbers. I mean, with Remax, you were the diamond, which means $1 million in annual commissions.
Mm.
And I want people to know how you got there. And it's in your material. They can go to zerotodiamond.com and they can sign up. It's free, no gimmicks. We talked a little bit about that when we talked the other day. Like, this is the real deal. It's not like you're going to let them in 10, 20% of the way and then try to charge them. You know what I mean? This is
Right.
full access to the scripts and education so that you guys can really see what Ricky has done. Let me just say this. What he teaches is stuff that I heavily, heavily believe in and also do a lot of it myself. What I have found and why I admire Ricky so much is that it took me a lot of years, a lot of setbacks to really start to understand the value of those relationships, to really understand relationships for life. Ricky has laid this out in a way where I'm like, dude, this is the system. And sure, there's other things people can do, and I always tell people, and maybe Ricky, you can give your opinion about this. Find a niche, right? I mean, find what works with your personality. What are your thoughts on that a little bit?
Yeah, no, you've got to find your groove, right? Everybody has a different path. Everybody has a different, angle. Everybody succeeds in different ways. They have different strengths and weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to step in, and you have to find your way. Winners just find a way, right? There's a lot of people that come up
Amps.
with
Yep.
excuses, right? There's a lot of excuses out there, of why they're not succeeding, or why they're not doing this, or why they're not doing that. And at the end of the day, winners have the same excuses. Winners, think this, they have the same obstacles, maybe even worse,
Right.
but they don't mention the excuses. They just plow right over them, and they find their path, right? And that's part of finding your niche, is plowing through, not saying, oh, I don't know what to do. No, just start doing stuff. You'll find your niche if you're putting in the work, talking to people. It'll find you more so. Like, your niche will find you, sometimes more than you finding it.
Right. So true. And again, like, you lay all this out in the book, and I always encourage people, like, be yourself, be yourself. And in your book, you talk a lot about, like, don't try to be like a pushy salesperson or anything. And I so agree with that, because you might not do the deal with the person right away, but if they feel comfortable with you, when the time comes, they'll look for you. I've had that happen to me so many times over the years. So now let me ask you a little bit about, with the coaching, going back to that again here. When people sign up for your course, what can they expect? What should start to happen for them early on once they're signed up with you?
Well, I mean, the first thing is I've got it laid out there for you, right? There's a 90-day action plan. Okay. That takes you through 90 days. It's kind of like a little boot camp, right? And it really, there's a course that you take first, the first part of the 90 days, which really introduces you to my philosophies and how I operate, to kind of get, kind of get an idea of what we're doing here,
Mm-hmm.
how I build my business. And then there's the 28-day challenge where you get a video texted to your phone 7 o'clock in the morning for 28 days with your video, with your challenge for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then you just finish out the rest of the 90 days according to, what parts of the 28-day challenge did you, that you felt you connected with the best? Was it circle prospecting? Was it expires? Was it for sub by owners? Was it the social media part? But everything reverts back to conversations,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whoever has the most conversations, with the best intentions and builds a personal brand around, around who they are as a person, is who's going to win ultimately. So
Nice.
yeah, man. Yeah, there's a 90 days. At the end of the 90 days, you email me. We'll get on a call, me and you, one on one. This all just continues to be free. And I want to talk about the 90 days, what your challenges were, what successes you had, and what your goals are, so I can try to give you a little advice moving forward.
Nice. Now, are your students that when they sign up and go through, they're able to communicate with you, right? And you'll respond to them.
Yep.
I can imagine. I know you probably have thousands of people in your course, right?
Yep.
But you do promise to like, hey, you'll reply to them and continue to give them some guidance, right?
Always, man. Always.
Nice, nice. And and I just wanted to kind of emphasize that because I've found that to be the case when I've talked to you, and I appreciate that, man. And I'll tell you what, for the remaining moments that we have left, because I really want people to. There's way too much in your stuff to cover, and whether this is a 30-minute or we could talk for hours, and there's still so much. I want people to check it out. Here's what I want to do in the last couple of minutes, Ricky. What I went through, I've been doing real estate since 1998. I've had to press the reset button when everything crashed. I had to really get to a place like in my spirit. And I know like in your materials, sometimes you'll reference, you don't get too much into like, God and stuff. But I feel that if that's important for a person, if they're like, have, their faith, how huge is that, right? To help them keep everything in perspective. Um, I don't know, anything like that you feel comfortable sharing? I mean, I know people don't always kind of ask about that kind of stuff, but I know
As far as religion goes,
not necessarily a specific one, but if it's someone having like things in perspective, right? For what really is important in their life, their values, their,
listen,
family.
man, at the end of the day, bro, 6 years ago, I quit drinking, right? I almost died one night. And, I did drugs and alcohol for 20 years. And I haven't drank or done anything, for over 6 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, that was I was already on a really good path. I mean, I was making 600,000 a year, drunk, right? Drunk and high. And so it wasn't like I was failing by any means. However, I was not impacting the world. I was not giving back. I was not, I was not reaching my full potential. You know what I mean? And full potential is what it's all about. And nobody knows what their full potential is until they actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people
Right.
say, oh, here's my goal. Well, that's your goal, but you don't really know if you can hit the goal, or you don't know if you can go way further than the goal. You have no idea until you put in maximum amount of effort. So for me, it all comes back to the whole reason why I'm coaching for free is just to give back to the industry and really help people. I mean, thousands of agents have doubled and tripled their income with my program. I've taken new agents to superstars, part-time to full-time, 20 million to 50 million. I mean, this is my thing. This is what I do. And I've never asked the agent for a single penny,
Right.
of any of that, so yeah. And I knock off at 5 every day, spend the rest of the day with my family, chill out, relax, recharge, get ready for another day of, straight domination.
Yeah.
And, yeah, dude, it is, man. It's about doing the right thing, helping people. It's bigger than you, and, yeah, you're right. You got to give it to the man upstairs and just keep moving forward.
Well, I appreciate that. And I appreciate you, sharing some of your personal story because I've seen a lot of people. I've mentored a lot of agents. I managed for a long time too. And I mentored a lot of people, and I've seen people come in, make a lot of money fast. And then I've seen a lot of trouble fast.
Mm-hmm.
Getting into business and becoming successful, making money is just only part of the story. And everyone, everyone, I want them to follow what they believe, but I want them to just have that compass right. You know what I'm saying? Because that's health, spiritual health and physical health and all of that. So I'll tell you what, Ricky, I know you're busy, and I thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. And I just want to wish you again, all the best of luck with everything, and congratulations again with all your success. And I want to encourage everybody, zerotodiamond.com. Go there and check out Ricky's stuff. I'm sure you'll love it. And until next time, thank you so much, Ricky.
Yeah, man. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed it. Thanks, man. We'll do it again sometime.
Sounds great, brother. I'll talk to you later.